From behind the desk on The View to beyond the DMZ into North Korea, Lisa Ling's career has taken her across the globe as she searched for stories worth sharing. But her profile isn't nearly as high as it used to be, so what happened to Lisa Ling? The first time many viewers got to view Lisa Ling was on, well, The View. The talk show made a spot for her at the desk during the second season in 1999, where she co-hosted alongside Star Jones, Joy Behar, and Meredith Vieira. Behar later spoke about Ling coming onto the series and injecting some much-needed youth into the panel, claiming that Ling allowed herself to be pushed out of her comfort zone many times. Speaking about her former co-worker during the show's 25th season, Lisa Ling immediately brought a rare combination of youthful exuberance and worldliness to the table. She was always prepared and seldom caught off guard.
Although she was an up-and-coming journalist when she came aboard, she wasn't above mixing it up and having a little fun.
Ling got back into her comfort zone when she left the show in 2002 to pursue other opportunities as a journalist. While she's expressed gratitude for her time on the daytime hit series, she's also made clear that the experience wasn't without some drawbacks. She summed it up on Jimmy Kimmel Live saying, "You really have to express your opinion so vociferously on that show. And in the age of social media, you're just scrutinized so severely." Goodbye opinionated daytime discussions, hello journalism! If you lost track of Lisa Ling after her departure from The View, then you must not have been changing the channel much. She stayed busy after leaving the show, going on to host National Geographic Explorer and working as a correspondent on The Oprah Winfrey Show. But this was all a precursor to her getting a show with her own name in the title. In 2014, she started hosting the primetime documentary series This Is Life with Lisa Ling on CNN. On This Is Life, Ling got to flex her journalism chops by traveling across the US and covering a range of pressing issues, such as the meth epidemic, gangs in Mississippi, and gender fluidity. In the documentary-style series, Ling was able to deep dive into previously undiscussed topics and showcase aspects of America that many people may overlook.
What I hope that people will come away with when they watch our show is just a better kind of sense of people who may live right next to them.
Her storytelling and investigative reporting helped make the show a hit, and even earned it some well-deserved hardware. The show earned 2 nominations for Best Episodic Series from the International Documentary Association and Best Ongoing Documentary Series from the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards. In 2021, Ling made a return to where she first had the opportunity to shine in the spotlight, when she came back to guest host on The View as part of a celebration for the show hitting its 25th season on the air. Reflecting about the good old days of 2002, Ling recalled that during her time as a host, she was often shot down when she wanted to discuss politics and other serious issues, on account of doing so would bum everyone out. Upon her return, she shared how excited she was to see how the daytime program had adapted to include those topics.
And now The View has just become this part of the cultural and political zeitgeist for doing exactly that.
Later talking to Access Hollywood, Ling admitted that she prefers the show now rather than when she was on it, saying, "That show has become an undeniable force in pop culture and in politics. I mean, you can't run for office without making a stop at The View." This Is Life with Lisa Ling ran from 2014 to 2022, making it CNN's longest-running original series. But apparently the execs at the network prioritize money over legacy, as the Los Angeles Times reported that the series was cut in an effort to trim costs. CNN had kind words in their de facto eulogy for the show, saying in a statement, "The important seeds planted by Lisa will continue to grow at CNN as we remain committed to shining a light on underreported stories and the people who make up the fabric of America." Compliments are nice and all, but at the end of the day, Ling was still out of a job. Speaking to the LA Times, she unsurprisingly shared her disappointment over the series cancellation, saying, "I would like to do many, many more seasons, especially right now, when we are existing in these bubbles and we follow people who espouse what we believe." After This Is Life was canceled, Lisa Ling picked herself up, shook off the disappointment, and shifted her focus, as well as her network. The HBO Max series Take Out with Lisa Ling follows Ling as she explores Asian American stories through food. Speaking about the project to Access Hollywood, Ling explained, "Food is the best way to connect people to lost history or to culture. It's the one thing that transcends challenges, struggle. It transcends discrimination." Of course, coming from an Asian American family herself, the focus of the series hits a personal note for Ling and was a point of pride for her as well.
I never thought that anyone would be interested in knowing about Asian American stories. And it wasn't even a dream. I never even dreamt it could be possible.
She added that since seemingly everyone in America loves Asian food, it's only fair that people feed their brains as well as their stomach by learning a little about the people and history that created those popular dishes. Takeout with Lisa Ling has also allowed the host to focus on a subject that had previously not been talked about enough, namely Lisa Ling herself. While on Jimmy Kimmel Live, she shared a bit about her family history, talking about how her grandfather immigrated to California in the 1940s, but could not get a job in finance because, according to Ling, nobody wanted to hire a Chinese employee. So her grandparents decided the best course of action would then be to open a Chinese restaurant, despite the pair having no experience in cooking.
It was one of the few ways that Chinese people could actually, own a business or have a business.
Wanting to show and not just tell, Ling used her show as an opportunity to visit her grandparents' restaurant for the first time, to reconnect and share those family roots, something she hasn't always been able to do. Speaking to Access Hollywood, she expressed that it was difficult for her to have pride in her heritage and feel accepted as a child, admitting, "I was one of the few Asian kids in my school. When you're in middle school and high school, all you want to do is fit in. And anything that gives people a reason to tease you is something that you don't want any part of." When life closes a door, it opens a window into the offices of CBS. Shortly after Ling's CNN series was canceled, CBS was quick to offer the award-winning journalist a position with their network, and she joined as a contributor in 2023. While announcing the news, Neeraj Kimlani, president of CBS News, had nothing but high praise for Ling, saying, "Lisa delivers some of the most authentic, human, and revealing interviews because of how she embeds with communities and the people she covers." For her part, Ling was equally enthused about joining the CBS team. Since joining the network, Ling has reported on a range of stories, from for-profit nursing homes to the struggle of unpaid caretakers. When it comes to reporting on caretakers, Lisa Ling appears on both sides of the story. Ling's own family appeared alongside others in her CBS special series, Cost of Caregiving, which shined a light on the struggles of those in the so-called sandwich generation. It's a term that applies to people who are tasked with taking care of both young children and elderly parents. In an Instagram post promoting the series, Ling wrote in the caption, "We take these responsibilities seriously, but it can certainly take emotional and financial tolls." In another Instagram post showing her young daughter helping care for her grandmother, Ling wrote about caring for both her own mother as well as her mother-in-law, writing, "Both of our moms are needing a lot of help right now, and I'm just so touched by how the girls are rising to the occasion to help their beloved grandmothers." Lisa Ling's career has taken her around the globe, and while it may be cool to see the sights, it's a bit hard to take time and relax while reporting from somewhere like North Korea.
And it's kind of funny that that's how I got into North Korea, because even though I'm Asian, I'm terrible in math and science. So the fact that I was part of this medical delegation is kind of funny. Anyway.
But in more recent years, Ling has occasionally put down the microphone and hopefully picked up a cocktail as she continued to travel, turning her attention to important stories like, what are some fun things to do in South America? After an August 2024 trip to Belize with her daughters, Ling shared several photos on social media, using her journalistic skills to prove that she had way more fun than you did that month. Sharing that Belize had been a long-time dream destination for her, Ling posted photos of her taking some well-deserved relaxation time, ranging from snorkeling adventures to horseback riding. Nowadays, Ling is far removed from being told to stop being a buzzkill by talking politics. And like many people, she's not afraid to let her views be known via social media. If you're curious as to where she leans on the political spectrum, look no further than her post where she's shaking hands with a certain ice cream-loving older fella who once called the White House home. It's not all smiles and handshakes, though. In another post from that month, Ling criticized the then vice presidential candidate and awkward donut shop customer J.D. Vance for his claim that the country was being run by, quote, childless cat ladies. Ling clapped back by writing, "How a wannabe VP of this country could harbor these views utterly baffles me." As a young journalist, Ling occasionally appeared to put getting the truth behind a story above her own personal safety. But now, as a mother of two, she has become more mindful of the situations she puts herself in, telling The Skim, "My life is not my own anymore. And I have a responsibility to do everything that I can to ensure that I am available and that I'm there for my kids. They need me, and I need them. So that has changed. But Ling hasn't confirmed that she's put her perilous past completely behind her, if that's what the work calls for. Especially if she's able to shed light on conditions that people find themselves living in every day of their lives. As she went on to say, "If I can go and communicate some sense of what their lives are like to a bigger audience like that, that is my objective."